Hi there. So welcome to the what's it called, Christmas in July kit. So this is the whole kit here, and obviously you're not going to get it looking like that, so I am just going to move these bits away and I'll just quickly show you this. So on the sides of this you can see that I've just put a line of gold around. The bottom is left bare, so you can always put created by whoever it is, that, you know, your name, obviously. You probably wouldn't want to put someone else's name on there because that would be a bit weird. And then you can see what I've done is I've just layered, so I've stuck the flowers on with a dimensional underneath there, so they just puff up a little bit, but everything else is stuck flat. So some things have gone underneath the green, some things have gone on top of the green, and some things have gone on top of the white. So it's just a case of, for this one, you'll just be putting whatever you feel looks best. So what I did was I just sort of laid it all out to begin with, and then went, okay, that needs pushing in, that needs pulling out, whatever it might be. Okay, so that's pretty much how you're going to do the box. I'm just going to quickly show you. So you'll find in your kit that you'll have a piece like this, all the bits to make this basically, and this is what your box will come like. So it'll just be folded over like that. So what I would recommend is that you can have it open and stick all the pieces on if you want to. When it comes to the lines, so the gold lines, hang on a minute, oh, I can do this. It's kind of nice if they sort of line up along the edges so that it looks like it's sort of like all a continuous line. So you might want to put that bit on last, I don't know, it's up to you. But to make your box, just a case of fold everything, pull out these bits and those bits, fold it all up. Sorry if I'm sounding a bit sort of skewed or whatever. I woke up on the 4th of July with something called Bell's palsy, which has just impacted me a little bit in a few pieces, in that it kind of paralyzes half of your face temporarily, thank goodness. So basically you're just popping the sides in like that, and then the rest of your box, that piece goes in, and these two pieces, oh, excuse me, whoops, sorry, go like that, so that when you open it up, it's like that. So I'm kind of hoping that was fairly obvious when I was making it up there and talking to you at the same time. Oh, now I'm throwing stuff around. There you go. Alright, so that will be how you make up your box. Okay, so you will also find that there is an extra piece in there which has some various extra bits that we don't actually use, so I figured you might like to have them anyway and make something else up with it. So I'd love to see what you make up with it. So do show me photos if you make up something else. Alright, so one moment. So when you get your kits, they will come in little envelopes like this. Now in each envelope you will have your card and all your pieces to make the card. Bear in mind that sometimes they're only teeny tiny pieces like this, so don't lose them, and sometimes these pieces haven't come out properly, so you might end up with a bonus X or something like that. I'm just going to take a seat for a sec and show you how I make up each card. So when I glue intricate pieces like this, I actually make myself up what I call a glue sponge. Oh, sorry, you're going to be swaying everywhere with this. So with my glue sponge, I also have one of these, so just a silicone mat and a glue sponge, and obviously some glue. So I go ahead and put a dollop of glue on the outside like that, so that then you can just grab glue onto your glue sponge and double it all over like that. Move that out of the way. Makes it so much easier to put this on if you have a glue sponge. And there we go. So then that nicely glues down that for you. So this particular one, let's find the original sample, is this one here. So I've used Itty Bitty Christmas Cling Mount Stamp Set, and just comes like that. Got all mine mounted on the back. So this particular one I've used Very Merry, which I'm just gonna grab that. So when you want to, just pick them up like that and it'll cling onto there for you. I have used Cherry Cobbler as my colour on this one. Okay, so tap tap tap, ink it up and pop that into the middle. Oh, excuse my arm and probably the fact that we've probably just gone everywhere with that. And just give it a quick clean off. There we go. Pop that one away. And I've also gone around the outside of this just to sort of sponge it up a little bit and make it look kind of cool. Just makes it pop out a little bit better on the page once it's all sponged and oh right. Okay, well obviously that's going to be a little more sponged than I had anticipated. Never mind. Just gonna take it off over here. So there we go. There we go. So that's okay now. I'll just close that one up. Pop that back over there. Alright, so the next thing I've got is to put this one on. So again, just going to use my mat. Ooh. You will find once the glue dries on these that it just rubs off. Oh, there's an extra piece on there. You probably want to get rid of all the extra little pieces on it too. And just stick that down and look at that. There's still more. But wait, there's more. So if you happen to have a little pokey tool, if you don't have a pokey tool, you can just use a needle if you do discover that there's any sort of extra bits left over. There we go. Now I have left it so that it just comes over the edge a little bit, and then you just a case of trim that piece off. There we go. Are we still recording? Yes, excellent. This is good. All right. So I'm just going to add a little bit more glue in the corner there. And put some glue onto this one. And that can sit down. So this one just sits directly on top of there. You end up with it looking like that. And you should have this and this. So this little piece here, again, if you don't have one of these and you have a needle, just use the needle and then it'll just help you be able to place it properly on there. So then again, a bit more glue onto the back of that. You know, actually I need more glue than that. Just gonna do that. That on and a little bit on the back of there, and that's your first card made. Okay, voila, card number one Done. Tick. Let's just get that out of the way. Okay. Card number 2. Let's see what's in this one. Pop the envelope over there. Ooh, look at this. These are so pretty. They really are. Yeah, just, oh, so pretty. Okay, so I happen to know that this is, where's the card? There it is, that one there. So for this card, you will need this piece of white cardstock behind here. Oh, you would need it had I remembered to bring a pencil into the party. Nope, not going to get a pencil. Just going to have to go with a pen, so there you go. Alright. Draw around it and cut it out. I'm kind of deliberately cutting it out so that I'm within the line, because I don't really want white showing on the outside of it by the time I've cut it out. There we go. Now, also in here, you may or may not have the letters of the love. So if you do, aren't you lucky? And you can use it on something else if you would like to, or you can do what I'm going to do and throw them out because they're fiddly little suckers, and yeah, I'm not very keen on them. So that should now fit, whoops, into there, and hopefully you won't have any white showing on the outside of it. So then you can just add a bit of glue on there and pop that on. Oops, oh, it's supposed to be. Thus the advantage of using glue is it moves around slightly. There we go. Okay, the reason you're doing that is because you don't actually want what's underneath showing through on it, because it kind of gets a bit distracting underneath it. So, and the other thing I've done is I've also just gone with a piece of this. So all I've done with the ribbon is taken the two sides, pulled it together like that. And you can just add either some tear and tape or, ooh, look, introducing the new stamping seal. And not the sort of seal that goes, ow, ow, ow. Just in case anyone had any doubts. And you can just stick that down and should give you that little bit of a something up there. That'll do me. So we need to stick this piece onto the card. Let's add a bit more glue onto there. I will say you do need to put a fair bit of glue into the corner there when you're doing this, otherwise it tends to sort of stick. If you don't have enough glue on here, this card will actually stick to it, if that makes sense. So let's just peel that off. And pop that down onto there. There we go. Are we still recording? Just making sure. Yes, we are. Yay. All right. So I've then used some of these dimensionals just to add this love onto the back here. So I'm just going to pop 3 dimensionals on the back there. Really sorry, it seems to be very wobbly, the stand today. Has something to do with the fact that it's attached to the table, probably. And you can stick your love down. And then re-enter the thing. And I've used lots of love at Christmas. So I'm just gonna attach that onto there. Real red. So this colour here, real red. It doesn't matter if you don't have the different colours. It'll still be fine. Oh, I Didn't mean to do that. I wasn't going to go and stamp on this. Oh, never mind. Too late. Sorry, muttering away to myself. Okay, so a little bit more stamping seal or glue, whichever suits you best. And see if that's going to work. There we go. There's that, and a couple of these behind it. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll just take those off. 3. Oh, excuse my arm. And then just a case of persuading that to sit hopefully at the bottom there. And there we go. Voila. Card number 2. There. And let's just check how we're going for time. Is that 16 minutes? I might stop here and do